What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of STALKER Clear Sky. It's going to be a nighttime episode, and I apologize for that. There's really not much that I could do because sleeping in this game is super dangerous now. In the first game, sleeping like nothing bad happens. It's just a great way to bypass time so you have to wander around in the dark all the time. In this game, it's a terrible plan because dogs will come by and nibble your bits. And I like my bits. I don't want my nibbles and bits turned into kibbles and bits and all that fun stuff. You know what's weird? I swapped my cat over to wet food. Like, I'm not one of those big, like, conspiracy theory people who are like, this food is bad for your dog because there's, like, all these things in it or whatever. But, you know, I took a chance on it, and I swapped my cat out to wet food. He throws up a lot less on wet food. So if you're having problems with your cat, I don't know how he Ooh, a Browning high power. That's kind of cool. I sort of want that. I think I'm going to bring it with me. But anyways, I've always given my cats my entire life. I've given them hard food because the wet food, you got to do a lot of dishes and you got to clean things up, and it's just sort of like a pain in the ass to keep clean. Not to mention the fact that my cats are disgusting when they eat. Like, for real, there's like a 5-foot radius around the food bowl where they just walk around with food in their mouth. Anybody that thinks cats are refined has never owned one. Like, they walk around with food in their mouths, and then they'll be like, and they'll like meow at you because you're walking by and like food will fall out of their mouth like all over the floor. You're just like, ugh. What are you doing? You're disgusting. What are you doing, man? Just walking around talking with food in your mouth? Bad manners, kitty. Bad manners. On the plus side, at least this place has loot that we can actually use.
Shit, man. Way to screw up. What a rotten son of a bitch, that commandant. All that horseshit he gave us about how the outpost was out of ammo. Those freedom bastards wounded 2 of our boys.
Enough yapping. Let's cover up our tracks and get out of here.
So it sounds like maybe Duty was attacking them, or maybe bandits are attacking them. I'm not really sure. They didn't say who they were, but it sounds like they're getting information and then somebody like snitched them out by sending them into an ambush, which ultimately, and well, they didn't send them into an ambush because obviously they won the fight, but, you know, it sounds like they lost a couple guys, which is the worst black eye they've been given so far. Let's take a look at these guns real quick and see what's going on with those. I would almost guarantee one of these is probably better than what we have. Really, the L85A2, did they nerf it? Because I remember distinctly the L85 in the first game was way better than an AK. Like, way, 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 way better. The conditions are a little bit low, though, so it could be the case that when I am running with, like, my pistol is super upgraded, though. Like, my pistol is really, really upgraded, so that's the other possibility right there. But still, back to the story I was talking about. I've always given my cats, when I was a kid, we did too. It was always, like, dry food that we gave to our animals. And I swapped him over to wet food about a year ago, and I just give him wet food. It's so much better. Like, I used to think my cat had, like, stomach problems because he used to throw up, like, maybe, I would say 7 to 8 times a month. He would just be, like, blah, 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 everywhere because he would just eat too much or eat too fast. But it's actually the dry food. He doesn't throw up anymore now that I give him wet food. He's had wet food now for about a year, and he throws up maybe, like, once every couple of months. It's weird. I think cats have different, like, sensitive tummy issues and things like that. And honestly, I don't trust what's inside kibbles anyways. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I know the kinds of stuff that's in human food. Like, you're only allowed to have, like, so many beetle particles per, like, ton and stuff like that. It's probably so much worse for animals. I bet it is. So, I don't know. If your cat has throwing up problems, you might consider putting them on wet food and seeing what happens. Because that solved it right up for my animals. And then I've had other cats who can eat whatever, and they never throw up ever. It's odd. But it kind of comes with the territory. If you're going to own a cat, they're a little bit pukey. They can be anyways. It varies. Some cats are pretty, like, iron-gutted, and then some other cats are just, like, every 5 minutes throwing up somewhere. It tends to do with how high-strung they are, whether they have nerve problems. You don't want my guns? You got high-class herb that'll get you higher than high. Is weed in Russia good? I would have to ask people in Ukraine and Russia, like, do you guys get good weed shipments there? I live in California. I live in the Emerald Triangle where, like, most of the weed on the planet is grown. And so I don't know. Like, I have no barometer for, like, how the bud is anywhere else. I know British Columbia and Canada have it held down, though. Like, I know you guys got it locked down, but everywhere else, I kind of wonder how the whole, like, shipping and transit thing works.
Hey, buddy! Looking for a good deal, eh? Way to offload your crap on me! I'll know better next time!
Well, I mean, I don't know about that part. I just want to make some Skrilla. God, the guns aren't worth anything in this game. Like, they really sincerely, like, the guns are selling for, like, 45 cents. I know somebody had said in the comments that I should repair these first. I should find the repair guy, I should repair the guns, and then sell them because they're worth a lot more. And it's not, like, equivalent with the amount of repairs you do. So he said something along the lines of, like, is there anything down in this? Ow, shit. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, he kind of just went ahead and did it, but it wasn't part of the plan. Falling into a giant hole was not a thing that I was trying to do today. But I know somebody mentioned that, like, if you repair a gun for, like, 50 rubles, it'll actually get you, like, an extra couple hundred out. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll test it right now. We'll repair up all the guns, and then we'll see what happens. Feel like making some cash? Always. I just got robbed. I have a job that needs doing, but the doing best be real quiet. No witnesses, you feel me? Come see me when it gets dark around 11. Okay, so, let me...
Or everyone's hands growing out of their asses. Nah, it's not me.
It's kind of expensive to repair. I don't know about all that. That's really expensive to repair. Like, really, really expensive. I guess I'll repair one of them, and then we'll just sort of, like, see what happens with it. I don't even know if that repaired the stack. One of these should be in perfect condition. That one is. So if that one's in good condition, I'm actually thinking about swapping over, and then I can rechamber it into Warsaw ammo so that it uses 7.62s or whatever this is using right here, 5.45. And so it'll use 5.45 instead of 5.56 NATO, which I think will probably be a better call. Because in my experience, the last time I played the game, the first one anyways, it was difficult to find NATO ammo around until the end of the game once you started dealing with, like, real established militaries. I don't think there's any artifacts left over or anything around here. There used to be. Let me try and sell it and see if it was worth it, because that was actually a pretty good stack of cash we just spent on repairing that gun. But I figured I would test it out real fast to see if somebody was pulling my leg and messing with me, or if it was actually worth it. So let's say I sell you that. Yeah, it's only worth $375. It's not worth it to repair the gear. That cost me way, way more. I'm probably just going to stick with my upgraded AK for right now. We got a couple of upgrades into it, and it looks like it's outrunning the other stuff anyways, and I don't really have any NATO ammo, do I? Oh, I have 5.56 by 4.5. It might be worth it then. With the Browning High Power, what does it fire? 9 by 19? What the hell is 9 by 19? That's a weird chambering. Do I have any of that? Is that right? No, that's the piercing. Where is the... I assume they gave me some ammo to go along with this. When I looted him off the dig, I'm going to get rid of... Oh, he doesn't want them? Okay, we'll take the grenades, because I never use those anyways. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of them. It's not even worth it to, like, pick up the pistols most of the time. It seems like they don't sell very well anyways. The rest of this stuff, what do I have right there? 9 by 19 full metal jacket. If I had an MP5, that'd be perfectly fine, but I don't. So... I'm going to keep my medical supplies for right now. I'm probably going to... The grenades aren't worth anything either, man. It's a hard economy in this game. It's a hard economy. They don't throw you any bones when it comes to cash. I don't understand why they stole your money like that. That just seems like a messed up thing to do. Because it's hard to make money in this game, and they just, like, stole it from you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's a little bit... There wasn't even, like, a dialogue option where you would be like, no, and get into a shootout with them. It was just like, you lose your money when you go through this gate automatically. I don't know what was going through their heads when they decided to design that event. It's just kind of like arbitrarily taking stuff from the player with no benefit, rhyme, or reason. Like, it's just kind of, it didn't serve the storyline at all. It was just kind of like, here is an arbitrary hazard that you have now walked into. Enjoy, ha ha ha, asshole, na 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 na. I don't know. It frustrated me when I was actually there, but it's more frustrating now that I'm in a place where I could resupply and get some real weaponry. What is going on right now? The PDA of one of the few recording of a conversation. Take the PDA to Chekhov. Where the hell did he go? Is this Chekhov? Maybe he's upstairs. Let's see if we can find a way to get up there. Typically, the way one gains altitude like this is through the use of objects like stairs. But for right now, yeah, there he is.
Partner? Well, finally we meet face to face. My name is Chekhov, and I'm the boss around here. The recording on the PDA you found clears things up a bit. All the exits from the valley were sealed off, but our outposts and patrols just kept getting hit. A few times we had the patrol leave the base and get slaughtered in no time. The boys started thinking that we offended the zone somehow, and that this was some sort of punishment. We even tried putting together protection charms against ghosts and all, but as we now know, there was nothing mystical about it. The Commandant gave away all our movements. Freaking rat.
It's like a life lesson. There's never anything mystical about a situation. I'm just letting you know. I hate to be like the amazing Randy in the room right now, but there's never anything mystical about any situation. It's always sleight of hand and somebody trying to trick you.
I didn't expect him to do this. I've known him for ages. We hunted for our first artifacts together. We made freedom what it is today. I trusted him with all the operational planning, and he just went and sold us out. As soon as the outpost conversation was aired on our radio frequency, the Commandant vanished. He knew he was screwed. What we've got to do now is find him. He knows too much, if not everything. All the exits from the valley are secured, so he couldn't have gone too far. We're tracking his PDA. He's near the road to the cordon. A few of our squads are on their way over there.
That seems like an obvious thing that the Commandant would ditch if he knew he could be tracked through it. Like, if it was so obvious to everybody else, he'd be like, well, we could track you through your PDA. I'd have ditched that thing quick. It's like if you're on the run, you get rid of your cell phone hella quick. If you're on like any like Verizon plan, go get yourself a burner.
Yep, there was a stalker like that. Very interested in rare parts and the like. He must have known that we had the best team in the whole zone. I sold him the part he wanted, and why not? He paid well and didn't even haggle. What I don't know is what he wanted with it. These parts were only used in old army cryptographic machines. He left the base straight away, and nobody's seen him since. Yeah, I'll help you. If you help me, that is. Don't take it personally, but we're having a rough time. And if things don't change, Freedom won't have enough men to defend the base from bandit attacks. Help me find out who is attacking us, and I'll give you information about Fang.
Deal.
Find the Commandant and bring him to me, alive. Or dead. Do that, and I'll tell you where you can find Fang. I've uploaded the coordinates of the Commandant's PDA to yours.
Alright, well, let's be up out of here. Oh, we can say that we want to join the faction.
Come back anytime.
That's his high-tech. Wow, it looks like he just wedged that into his forehead right there. Like, ram! Like, listen, I need an illumination device, and there's nowhere else that I can make it work. I'm just going to ram it into my skull real fast, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Get himself a water pipe over here and a whole bunch of canned food. Man, you living large over here, Commandant.
Come in, Stalker.
Is there anything in this safe right here? Can I look inside your safe? Guess not. What about inside your desk? Is there anything inside of here? In these cabinets? Nope. It's a lot less loot in this game. That's what I've noticed is they keep things stingier in this one. Like, it's a lot harder to be... In the first game, you were rich within like 25 seconds of playing the game, and I think they over-nerfed it in this one so that you're just always broke. You guys have like tanks and stuff. Like, why are you... Oh. This side of the tank appears to be dysfunctional. Never mind. I was going to bitch at you guys for being bad at your job, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
I ain't too good at hearing. Speak louder.
God, they're talking again. So, I'm gonna see if there's a safe spot for us to sleep in here. And if there is, it looks like the safety level's okay right here, so I'm gonna sleep for a little while. There was no red on that bar, so I assume we're safe and that no doggies are gonna bite us in the face while we slumber. Sounds like we have, like, breathing problems. Like, damn, dude. I hate that so much, like, when you've got a partner that snores. It's been a long-term problem for me because I don't snore. At least I don't think that I do. I don't sleep on my back, though, too. I think sleeping on your back is where, like, 90% of snoring problems come from. Because it collapses the airway or whatever, shifts your jaw backwards. There's, like, a technical, like, scientific reason, but I don't know. I notice people that sleep on their backs, like, face up in the air, tend to snore a lot more. I mean, yeah, that shit drives me nuts. I sleep with ear. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm OCD about my sleep time. Like, any tiny noise will annoy the shit out of me. Like, every morning... There's this bird outside, and I hate it so much. At 5 a.m., I'm a very light sleeper. Like, I'm an incredibly light sleeper. Like, I barely sleep at all. Like, it's sort of like almost like a in-between sleep and awake phase for me. It's almost like, I don't know. I always assumed that when I played D&D back in the day, they said that elves never sleep, they just meditate. I always felt like it was probably more like the meditation that elves do or whatever. I know that sounds super nerdy, but we're at the Nerd Castle right now, so just bear with me. This is all going to come to a point. Because, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm aware of the fact that I'm asleep, but I'm just like, eh. Like, I sleep very lightly, and the smallest noise will wake me up. Like, last night, I think one of the cats jumping on the bed woke me up. Like, that's more than enough for me to just be like, and, like, pop out of a sleep. So, anyways, most nights I wake up 5 or 6 times a night, just like every hour and a half or so, because I sleep lightly. And there's this goddamn bird. I hate him so much. There's a bird outside with, like, this distinctive call. He's not like any of the other birds, but every day at 5 a.m. till, like, 6:30, he just sits right outside my window and does, like, this little, like, thing for like an hour. Just an hour. And then he stops. I don't know why he does it first thing in the morning when he wakes up for a while. I assume that he's singing in the shower. I sing in the shower, so I don't blame him for it. But it's still problematic. That looks really, really unsanitary down there.
Attention all Freedom squads. We just ran into mercenaries by the old farm. We're meeting strong resistance. We need help. I repeat, We need reinforcements immediately.
So, who are the factions here who are fighting with each other in our current zone? It looks like we've got renegades. Well, that's my faction. Where is it? Everybody else seems to be pretty stoked about the fact it doesn't look like they're... I don't know if the stalkers are the mercenaries. It looks like we're friends with them, so I'm not really so positive about gunning down mercenaries right now. I feel like that's probably a... I'm trying to stay on everybody's side for right now, but I'm thinking they're going to throw me into the thick of it and force me to do that. Yeah, man, I hate that bird. I hate that bird so much. I even went outside one day to, like, maybe scare him off or, like, throw a little stone at him or something, get him to go away because he woke me up. And I was like, ugh, that damn bird. I don't know. Where is this gunfight happening? I may not join in, but far be it from me. Do I have my headphones on the wrong ear? Sounds like it's coming from over here somewhere. Well, anyways, as I was saying, far be it from me. What I may do is I may not jump in on the fight. I may just let them slaughter each other and then go through the field and pick up all the spoils. Worked out pretty well for me last time when I got a bunch of rare gear and random guns and things like that. Which, if you recall, we have that stashed over in the garbage. I should probably go get that stuff at some point. I hear the gunfight. It sounds like it's on my... I gotta put both my headphones on. It's coming from over here. Oh, there's a tracer right there. Okay. Sounds like there's a fight going on. Let's go see if we can clean any goodies out of here. Nobody should be flagged red, because we're on both sides.
Commandant sure didn't get far. His new friends found a nice spot for him, on a tree. Alright, grab that asshole's PDA and get right back to me.
That's what happens to those who mess with freedom.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually just having a gunfight over here, and nobody was flagged as red. So what I'm thinking is that we should be able to exploit the situation to our advantage by looting some of the bodies. Now, if we didn't have anything to do with killing the bodies, be aware that unfortunately it's not going to flag any of them on our maps. We just got to kind of look around and see if we can find dead guys. They look like they've got AR-16s or AR-15s or whatever the hell. They got some kind of NATO firearm. Good enough for me, and I think we should be able to vendor those for a decent price. Got another deader over here. Is that the Commandant? Alright, so we got the PDA. This appears to be...
To shoot or to talk?
I'm here to talk. Please show me that you're here not to shoot and also to talk. He's like, well, I'm a soldier. I mean, my job is mostly to shoot. It's just, don't sign up to be a soldier if you don't want to shoot. But, you know, maybe we can find some conversational time in here somewhere. It looks like they only killed, like... The hell was that? Oh, dude, there better not be a snork in here. Oh, if there's a snork, I'm going to be very upset, because that sounded like a snork sound. Is there anything inside of here? I wish that the caches, you could actually just find them organically. I feel like it would make the game a lot better. Like, just being able to find, like, random things around that had loot inside of them. Like, as it stands right now, until you talk to somebody and you buy the quest, the stash doesn't spawn. And so, I don't know. Occasionally you find loot out and about, but it's rare. It doesn't happen very often. What's inside of here? Yeah, I hate that damn bird. I guess it's the whole point of this episode. I hate that damn bird. I hate it so much. Its cry is not one that I can sleep through because it's not pleasant. It's just kind of like a, I don't know. It's like when a crow is out there squawking, like, bah! It's like making that obnoxious crow noise. You're just like, I don't like this. What do you have? How good are your guns? Your gun looks like it has bonus attachments. Yours has a scope on it. A scopely dopely dope. That's pretty cool. Nice. I wonder how accurate this thing is. I like the sound it makes better. I like its report. It sounds good. Makes me happy. Let me take a look at my inventory real fast. And I think that should be like, its condition's a lot better. It does a little bit better damage, but its accuracy is lower and its rate of fire is lower. And I think that's important to note because we've already upgraded the accuracy on this. What is this right here? A USP 45, really? That's a good gun right there. USP's a nice gun. Well, then again, all the guns you find in this game tend to be pretty nice. I mean, I've never heard of a Fort 12 before. I've heard of a Beretta, and I've definitely heard of a USP. But I think my dad has a USP, actually. My buddy's got a super sweet SIG that he got as part of a... He went to police academy or what. He didn't end up, like he finished police academy, but he didn't end up becoming a cop. Like, he was just kind of like, after he got done with police academy, he got offered a job doing sales for like an international firm that ships like tools and like tractors and things like that around on like a leasing system or something like that. So basically he goes and he finds building projects and they fly him all over the world to like convince people to use the tools on lease from the company that he works for, basically, instead of like buying their own. So if it's like a company that's only trying to do like short-term construction and they have no use for this tractor, why should they buy it after the construction's done? You know what I mean? Or if they don't specialize in whatever construction it is they're doing, but they just need like this tractor, or they need this bulldozer, or they need like whatever for like a short period of time, they lease it from that company. And so he didn't end up becoming a police officer because he got that sales job and it paid better because he gets fatty commissions whenever he makes a sale. And so I don't know, but he's got a SIG. He got it because you get like student loans and things like that. And so I think he got a grant from the government or something like that to go to school. And one of the things that it was for is so that he could buy his police gear. And he bought a super sweet, like a ridiculously awesome SIG. A real expensive thing, a real expensive gun. Haven't gone out and fired it with him, but pretty sweet piece. I looked at it at his house. I think we just have to drop this PDA back off with the buddies. I wish that I would go out shooting more. Like, I live in a country where, like, you can get guns like candy off of trees. They're everywhere. There's, like, gun sales all over the place. And I've just never gotten around to buying a firearm because it's just like, I don't know. I always say it's like going to the optometrist. It's like one of those things that, like, you figure you should probably do at some point, but you just never get around to it, so you just don't worry about it. Am I overweight right now? What the hell was that? There's definitely a gurgly noise around here, and I don't like it very much. Just got to get back to base real fast, turn off my flashlight, because it's the middle of the day. People are going to think I'm crazy out here. But yeah, I've never just, like... It's not that I don't want a gun or that I have a problem with guns. It's just that, like... It's hard to convince myself to go out and drop a bunch of money on something that's just going to, like, sit in a closet, which is what it's going to come down to. I don't go target shooting very often, and when I do, I usually just borrow somebody else's gun. Or we just, like, swap around while we're skeet shooting or whatever. It's, like, not a big deal. It's like one of those things that I don't like really have to have. Although my house has been burgled before. And so that in mind, I sort of feel like I should probably grab one. Just in case. It's happened already. History has shown that stuff will get burgled around here. If you don't believe me, leave a bike outside for more than 10 minutes without your eye on. That thing will disappear real quick. That thing will be gone in a heartbeat. People out here steal bikes super fast. Bikes are like one of the biggest things out here in the Bay Area because there's so many college students and whatnot. And they have like chop shop operations because around here what you'll find is we have these things that are like bike chop shops. They're sort of like loose parts places where you can buy like random things like the little rubber thing that goes over your handlebar or whatever. Like basically they just have loose parts for bikes and you know that everything in there is hot as shit. But what people do is they steal a ton of bikes. Like the other day they shook down a house and they found like 100 bikes just like in his barn. And he was just disassembling them, and he sells the parts to the chop shops, and the chop shops resell them without asking any questions. And so bikes are big business around here. People make a lot of money stealing and, like, ripping bikes apart.
Howdy, partner. Thanks for your help. After the shootout at the farmhouse, we know that mercenaries are behind the attacks on Freedom. Information from the Commandant's PDA also confirms this. The question is, why the hell are they doing it? Mercenaries have always stayed neutral and cooperated with all of the zone's factions. I wonder who the client was for this little job. Perhaps it was duty, or the army. I've got more questions than answers right now, but I'll get to the bottom of this. You can bet on it.
Man, I know how much you like bottoms.
You've held up your end of the deal, and now I'll tell you about Fang. He was looking for rare components here, and I got real curious as to what he wanted with all that ancient crap. When I asked him directly, he told me to mind my own business. It's too bad I'm not a quitting type. I asked one of our tech guys to hack into his PDA's frequency, and we were able to monitor him for a few days. It looks like he went to the garbage. I looked for him there. By the way, I made a note of his PDA frequency, and I've already uploaded it for you. His location is now marked on your PDA.
Man, people need to stop caring about these PDAs. How many people in this series already been whacked because they just forgot to turn off their cell phone? Like, damn, dude, ditch that thing.
To help Freedom once again?
I am ready.
We know a lot more, but the mercenaries keep attacking us, and we're down to our bare bones here. I still don't know how they're getting into the valley. We've got all the roads covered with our outposts. It looks like there's a tunnel here somewhere that we don't know about. That's how the mercenaries are getting into the Dark Valley. We need to find out where that hole is and blow it to bits.
So how are you going to find the way the mercenaries are getting in? The valley is huge, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
There's an old triangulator in the valley. It was built by geodesists back in Soviet times. The triangulator comprises 3 antennas. Once all 3 antennas are activated, you can monitor the surface of the whole valley. If it works, we'll be able to work out how the mercenaries are getting into the valley.
Okay, so what do I do?
One of those antennas is here in the base, but the other 2 were captured by mercenaries. Help us regain control over those antennas.
Freedom welcomes everyone who has trodden the...
Alright, so that's taken care of. Geodesists, huh? That is a weird job. If you don't know what geodesy is, it's essentially the study of the geometric shape of the Earth, and sort of like the study of its gravity field. I guess it's the study of gravitation on Earth, and then also like the shape of the Earth. Like, a lot of people think that we live on like a globe. It actually looks more like a lumpy, tumory potato. Like, seriously, the Earth is not attractive. Like, if you actually see what it actually looks like, geodesy is essentially just sort of the study of the shape. And I guess the shape of the Earth and gravity would be the way that I would describe it. Because gravity is different in different places. I don't know if people know that as common knowledge, but gravity is different in different places on Earth based on land masses beneath your feet. And so gravity will be different depending on, like, if you're near a very, very dense ore field underfoot, gravity will be higher right there. But anyways, gravity is different depending on, like, where you are on the planet, whether you're at high altitude, low altitude, whether there's, like, a dense rock system underneath you versus a rock system that is very, very light and fluffy. It just sort of depends. But anyways, that's what geodesy is. It's not a common job. It is not a common job. That's not a thing you're going to hear about a lot, but it's a thing. I had a class where we did, I think, like, a brief, like, 8-week introduction to geodesy, and we used a gravimeter, and we used a couple of other things, which a gravimeter is basically just like a big, it's like a back, god damn, who is shooting out here? What is going on? Jesus. Looks like there's a firefight going on over there. But anyways, I did like an 8-week course on geodesy, and you basically run around with a backpack on a stick, and you pull it around behind you, and it looks for buried masses, and essentially it's got a little spring inside of it that detects very, very light changes in gravity. And so anyways, we had to do a whole bunch of trig with regards to like gravity and some other stuff. I don't know, it was a weird class. I don't remember it real well. I'll see y'all next time. This is the end of the episode. Hi-do, everybody.